If you guys don't already have your own e-commerce store, what are you waiting for? When life gives you lemons, aka a global pandemic, why not make lemonade and start your own Shopify store? And honestly, there's no better time to do it than now that Online Store 2.0 is in full swing, baby. If you're not familiar, Shopify is a platform that allows you to sell products online. And Online Store 2.0 is an updated version of Shopify that's gonna give you guys so much more control than ever before. I'm so excited to show you. And if you're new to this, do not worry at all because Shopify is for beginners. This tutorial, this series is gonna be for beginners. From literally start to finish, I've got you guys covered. So excited, so let's just get into this. What's up, you guys? I am Michelle Bally. If you guys are new here, Learn with Shopify is an official Shopify channel, and we are all about teaching you how to start, run, and grow an online business. So anything that you want to learn about becoming an e-commerce business owner, you can find it here. You want to learn Facebook ads? We got you. You want to blow up your Instagram? Check. So you can learn everything that you need in order to start, run, and grow an online business. So if that sounds like something that you need in your life, then hit subscribe. So what is Shopify and is it right for you? Okay guys, let's get serious for one sec. What is Shopify? It's a tool that allows you to sell online. Simple as that. So if you want to start a side hustle, maybe you're selling like gym equipment, you'd basically go ahead and make an account with Shopify to create an online store, and then you can start making money. So Shopify lets you sell online through a website. You can use Shopify to sell in person through a POS, and you can even use Shopify to sell on social media and online marketplaces. So the nice thing about Shopify is that it has these built-in tools that are really gonna help you through digital marketing. You can create, execute, and analyze your digital marketing campaigns. Also, Shopify has this amazing single dashboard to manage your orders, your shipping, and your payments pretty much anywhere you go. And the thing that I like to know is that millions of the world's most successful brands are currently using Shopify. That being said, you can be a big business and use Shopify. You can also be a small business and you can pretty much sell almost anything, guys, almost anything. Don't get any crazy ideas. So yeah, you can be anyone, you can be anywhere, and you can use Shopify and be successful. Shopify plans and pricing. Okay, so like any millennial, I have a serious fear of commitment. So the fact that Shopify has a free trial, that was pretty necessary for me. I know it'll probably be necessary for some of you guys as well. So what I would recommend, literally before you do anything, before you keep watching this video, just click the link in the description box so that you guys can sign up for a free Shopify trial. Like literally do it right now because you're gonna wanna do this with me step by step. So pause this video, do what you gotta do, sign up, got it? Okay, amazing. Let's get started. So if you noticed, there is no credit card required to get this free trial, which is really great because if you're not into it, no harm, no foul. But if you do love it, by the end of this series, you're gonna have a brand new Shopify store, which is really amazing. So if you do decide you love it and you wanna keep your store, what's gonna happen is you're gonna be on a free plan, so you're gonna need to graduate to a paid plan so that you can start accepting real sales. So let's talk about pricing and all the options that you have. So as far as paid plans go, you're gonna have a few options. If you are a new business, I would recommend you just get the basic plan. That's gonna be $29 a month. That's gonna be probably best for most of you watching. The next plan up is pretty similar, but a key difference is that you get a bigger shipping discount. This plan is probably going to be good for a business that's already somewhat established. Now, the highest tier is the advanced Shopify account. This is for the big guys. So if you guys have a number of staff that are going to all need access to your Shopify account, this plan will probably be right for you. If you want really in-depth analytics, this is also going to be right for you. But I think for the most part, for most of you guys that are watching, I think the basic plan will probably cut it. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. How to create a Shopify account. Okay, so now we actually got to go in and sign up with Shopify to set up our store. So follow along, folks. I'm going to put this on screen and I'm going to speed this up because I think this is pretty easy. Yeah, you can pause if you need to. Amazing. Okay, so by default, you get this like ugly My Shopify URL. It's going to look like this one here. But instead, we want something that's going to be like clean and easy to remember, like this one here. So let's get a custom domain so that we can cover up this ugly URL. From your Shopify admin, you're going to go to Online Store, and then you're going to click Domains. You're going to click Buy New Domain, and then you're going to enter the domain name that you want, okay? After that, you got your perfect domain, so you're going to click Buy, And then you're going to receive an email from Shopify, and it's just going to be confirming your purchase, which is great. Now, don't worry, guys, if this doesn't come right away. Sometimes it can take like 48 hours for your new domain to start working. But other than that, we're groovy. We got our new domain name, and it's great. So love that for us. Now, guys, it is time to get creative. This is literally my favorite part. So let's start our web design off by choosing a theme. Okay, listen, guys. As business owners, we have a lot to think about. So you can either sit and go through all the themes and take an hour to find the perfect theme, or you can literally just choose Dawn. Dawn is literally one of my favorite themes just because it's just so easy. It is a brand new theme. So what you would do is you would just basically activate it, like flip that switch on as you start your account. So if you guys aren't already familiar with Dawn, let me show you, let me just tell you a little something about Dawn. So it is one of Shopify's best themes because it just has all these incredible features that help you make more sales, for one. And secondly, you can really just express your brand with this theme. So I personally love Dawn. It's just such an easy option. So let's do it. Who is ready to add Dawn? So this is how you're gonna do it. We're gonna go to online store. We're gonna hit themes, and then we're gonna scroll down to the Visit Shopify theme store. Okay, so from there, we're gonna go and search Dawn, and here it is. This is Dawn, a brand spanking new theme that literally just dropped last year, and it is free, which I love. And guys, you see these other free theme options here. We've got Crave, we've got Craft. This one's called Sense, which I love. This is Taste and Studio, and these are all brand new themes that just dropped, and they are so sick. I love all of these. So if you're not loving Dawn, you have other options, and they're really just designed to help you get started more quickly and get you up and running in a pinch. So when you create your online store with Shopify, you can choose between free themes and premium themes. And the free ones that we just looked at are great, but here are some really amazing premium themes as well. These are gonna be paid, right? So this one is Drop, this is Bullet, and this is Be Yours. These are beautiful, gorgeous themes. There's also other themes to choose from other than the ones that I've just talked about, but let's say you're, going through the theme store and you just haven't found one that you really like. There's literally no need to rush into any relationships here because, sneak peek, Shopify is launching a ton of new free and premium themes later this year. So if you want to hang tight and maybe just, make that final commitment, you can wait around for those. But, you can get started with one now and then switch over later. It's totally up to you. Editing the look and feel. So if you've never designed a website before, that's literally no problem because Shopify is intuitive enough, especially for first-timers. So if you're anything like me, and you're maybe like a little bit of a perfectionist, I would just say try to curtail that perfectionism because at this point, guys, your store does not have to be perfect, and I can't express that enough. Don't get caught up on the details. You just really want to focus on getting the basics down so that you can just launch and just get your store out there. Okay, so to start customizing what your store is going to look like, you're going to click on Online Store, then Customize, and that's basically going to open up the online store editor, and it's going to open up in a new window. So let's get you oriented here. On the left-hand side, we have all the tools that we need to make our edits, and on the right-hand side, we have a live view of how the store will actually look as we start to make those changes. So templates, sections, and blocks are all parts of your Shopify theme that allow you to customize each part of your theme individually. I love this because it gives you more flexibility to edit your store without having to touch any code. Editing your homepage. Okay guys, so let's take a look at a good example of a homepage. So on Delianu's website, this banner image really is telling me everything that I need to know. It tells me that this business is all about African-inspired fashion and that it is Black owned. And further down, if I scroll down, I can also see a video about their story and how they support their community. I love this. I think this is a great example. And now that we've seen how nice we can potentially make our homepage look, let's make it a reality. Nee, so exciting. Okay, so let's do this with our Dawn theme. So for my apparel store, I'm gonna click into the first section here. This first section here is a really good place to display images or videos of your products or even any promos that you have going on. It's really gonna be the first impression that a customer is gonna get of your store. It's kind of like a first date. So we wanna make sure that the photos are cute, but also accurate. We don't want to catfish our first date, right? So that being said, try to avoid stock imagery because, you want to make sure that it's like personal to your brand and that you're not just showing like images that are kind of floating around on the internet. You want to make sure that it is your own original imagery. So I'm going to press select images and choose from my library. Let's use a subhead that sparks curiosity, just like this, and add in a headline that's gonna further explain what the product is. Add a little call to action button in the label section, just like this, and we can use something like shop now. So now that we've done that, we're gonna have to choose where the link of this button is gonna go. Where is this gonna take the customer? So usually this is gonna be a product or a collection page. And that is it. We've made this beautiful little section. And that is looking like a pretty successful first date to me. So moving on, we're gonna add in a section that's not already here. So to do that, I'm gonna click add section at the bottom just like this. And there's a lot of options to choose from, but I'm just gonna add this. And if I do change my mind, I can really just remove the section altogether just like this. Okay, so what else can we do here with Online Store 2.0? So we can adjust the size and the position of the banner image. We've got collages, featured collections, multi-columns. We've also got rich media like video. So all of this is really sick. And guys, all of these 2.0 features are so key for building your storefront really quickly and really easily, and just honestly to start getting customers to start shopping with you. Editing your product pages. So the template of your product page is also super important because it can literally be the difference between a sale that you've made or a sale that you've lost. So we want to make sure that we're paying special attention. Okay, so looking at Tease Tea, they're using custom templates for their product pages. And look, guys, look how amazing. They've integrated their brand ethos. They've got FAQs, they've got reviews on their product pages, and it just makes for a really rich experience. So I don't know about you, but I am inspired. So I'm going to create a unique template for my products as well. So I want to showcase a video on how to wear the clothes, and I'm going to add a custom banner for a 15% off sale. Then I'll apply that template to some of my products that I have. I can assign a product to a new template by previewing the product, and that takes me into the product page where we can find the template option. Also, guys, key thing to know is that the editor allows you to make changes to your templates without affecting the live storefront, which I think is so sick, because with older versions of your theme, or vintage themes as they're called, I would have had to go into the code and do that. But with Dawn, all I really need to do is go into the theme editor, create a new template, and literally just edit it. So I can see how many products are assigned to each template by using this drop-down menu, or by selecting a template and just seeing what it's assigned to. Ooh, and FYI guys, if you start customizing a theme and maybe like you feel like this is just like not the look that you're going for, you can change it to a different one. But if you decide to change your theme, your products and your content will transfer over, but your layouts and your customizations will not. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, like just take your time, enjoy the process, and just like try to find that right theme before you go ahead and just like jump in. And hot tip guys, if you choose a free Shopify theme, you may also get notified in your admin that there's an update available. And if that does happen, the customizations that you've already made in the editor, those would get carried over. But if you've made any edits in the code, that does not get carried over. So I just want you guys to know that before you start going in like real hard. Okay, so I'm feeling pretty good about the way that my store is branded. Now I am ready to add in some products. So let me show you how to do that. So when we think about our product page, the main and literally only mission that you have to like focus in on is to close that sale. The product page is gonna help you close that sale. And to do that, we're gonna have to make sure that we're eliciting trust and showing the customer why they need your product. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start by giving the product a name. And with this name, you're gonna wanna strike a balance between like a fancy marketing name that's gonna be like really exciting and pretty, but you're also gonna wanna strike a balance between a practical and descriptive name, because that's what's gonna get picked up by search engines. So try to strike a balance. So now, let's look at all this space. You got this entire space to convince customers why your product is amazing. So use a space to paint a complete picture. Talk about materials, quality, all that good stuff, sustainability. But guys, this is a life-saving tip. If you have a lot of information, I'd recommend that you guys use bullet points or tabs, because no one's gonna read a huge, big, long paragraph. Add photos of your products. So if you don't already have your product images, that's fine. Just take mental notes for now. So first things first is you're going to want to show your products at all different angles so that customers can really get the feeling of seeing it in person. So you're going to want to include close-ups so that customers can get a feeling of like color and texture. And then you're also going to want to add in some videos, maybe even a photo or a video of someone like actually using the product. Basically, the more information that you give the customer, the more confidence you will instill in them. You can even include 3D models of your products. How fun is that? So once you add an image, you're going to click on it and you're going to edit the alt text. Alt text helps those that cannot see understand what's in the image with a written description. I personally think it's the socially responsible thing to do. Well, I mean, it is the socially responsible thing to do because you're going to be making your store accessible, providing inclusive access to about 15% of the global population who are living with disabilities. So guys, do not forget to do alt text, it's very important. And it also helps you get found on Google. So make sure that you are being descriptive here. Add your price. We'll price this at $1 million. I think that's pretty reasonable. So the cost per item is going to allow you to track the cost of goods that you're selling so that you can really quickly and easily track your profit margins. I think that's so handy. And then click charge taxes on the product if the product is taxable. We'll talk more about taxes in the next few lessons, so make sure that you're hanging tight for that. All right, Metafields. I want to tell you guys more about Metafields and like what they are and how you can use them. So they're going to help you customize the functionality and appearance of your store by letting you store and display information that's important to you. So you can add Metafields on all the resources you need for your store, like your products, your variants, your collections, your customers, your orders. They really allow you to offer and store more unique information, like a customer's birthday or a product's ingredient list, for example. And then, once you have that information, you can then filter in your admin or on your storefront without relying on a developer to do so. To see the Metafields in action, let's take a look at our demo store. So each product has a care guide and a product subtitle. So in the past, this is kind of, product customization used to be a very involved process, but with Dawn and our latest Metafield functionality, we've just made it so simple. So let's begin by creating some Metafield definitions. To do this, I need to visit settings and choose Metafields. I'm adding these to my products, so I'll click there and add definition. A few Metafields are recommended here. These are powerful standardized Metafields. I'm going to select Care Guide, which is a multi-line text type. While I'm here, I'm also going to add the product subtitle standard Metafield, which adds a text blurb just beneath the title on a product page and gives customers a quick summary of what it is they're looking at. So now when I edit my products, I'm going to see a new Metafield section near the bottom with a definition that I've created. I'm going to add this product's care guide and give it a subtitle. Since I've got a few products set up with Metafield values, I'm going to show you how easy it is to connect them to my online store with Dawn. So starting in the online store, I've already selected Dawn as my theme, so I'm going to hit Customize to get started. I'm going to be editing my default product template, so I'll navigate there first. As I want to draw attention to the care guide, I'm going to add a rich text block. I'm going to update the heading, and in the text field, I'll select the dynamic source icon. When I select care guide, the text will automatically populate. So to add product subtitles, I'm going to add a text block, move it underneath my product description, and again, select the dynamic source icon. This time, I'll select product subtitle. And with that, guys, we are done. We have now set up new data points to make Shopify accurately reflect your products. And with this Dawn theme, honestly, guys, it has never been easier to show customers the information that they need in order to make a purchase at your store. Okay, lastly, I want to walk you through the app blocks and embeds functionality. So if you're not aware of what that is, Shopify apps enhance your e-commerce store's capabilities to create more unique buying experiences for your customers. And you can do this with any online store 2.0 theme without touching any code, which is really convenient. So I'm going to show you how simple it can be to enable app blocks on your storefront Let's go through a couple examples. So we all know how important it is to build trust in the quality of your products. We kind of talked about that before. And often the best way to elicit that trust is through customer reviews. So Oka, or is it Ocha? I really don't know. But they have used product reviews to demonstrate how delicious their food and beverages are. So with app blocks, you can build out experiences just like they have by including a product reviews app, which features customer reviews. So to add the product reviews app block to a product page, I'm going to install the app from the App Store. I'll navigate to the default product template in the theme editor, and I will click Add Section. From the drop-down menu in the app section, I'm just going to select the customer reviews app. So it's super simple, but optionally, I can also add this app block to my main product section, and it will automatically adjust to the size of my section. Apps can be added as blocks in a section and as sections in a template. This lets you add app functionality exactly where you need it on a page. So app blocks can be hidden from the storefront from within the theme editor. So when an app is uninstalled from the apps tab, the app block is automatically removed from the storefront without leaving any lingering code. So that's super valuable. And now here's another example. You can use Shopify Inbox to chat with your customers while they're shopping on your online store. Maybe it's a question about products or shipping details. I think that having this app is so key just to help you close that sale, create customer loyalty, and make customers feel like they're coming first and that, their questions are answered. So app embeds like Shopify Inbox work really well for this because this will give direct one-on-one support. And this app can, float, or it can appear as an overlay in your theme. So lots of options. To add Shopify Inbox as an app embed, I'll install it on the App Store. Then I'm going to enter the theme settings in the editor where app embeds can be accessed, enabled, and configured. So I'll click the App Embed tab and search for the Shopify Inbox app that we just downloaded. And I can enable the Shopify Inbox app basically just by clicking this little toggle. And clicking this toggle is also going to disable the App Storefront integration and remove it from view, so you won't be able to see it. You can configure the visual settings without leaving the editor by clicking the expand the arrow icon. And the best part is, app embeds can be used with any theme version, whether you have a vintage one or an online store 2.0. Okay, let's move down into the inventory section. Okay, so here you have the option to include a SKU. SKU stands for stock keeping unit. SKUs are really going to help you organize your inventory. So you're going to make up your own format. You're going to make up a format that makes sense to you. It doesn't have to make sense to anyone else but you. So let's say, for example, I am selling a purse. It could be LBP22. Maybe like L stands for the size, which is large, B stands for the color, which is blue, and P stands for purse, which is the type of bag, and then 22 stands for 2022. Like I said, has to just make sense for you, but make sure that you are doing this right away because these are really going to help you in the long run, so try to get this set up as soon as possible. Okay, barcode, we don't have to worry about this if we're just selling online, so we can just skip over this. Now, let's move on to the inventory section. So the inventory section is Shopify's way of helping you track how many products you have on hand. Now, guys, let me look you right in the eye and tell you this right now. You must, absolutely must input this correctly, especially from the jump, because this can be an absolute nightmare if this is wrong. If this is wrong, you might oversell products, or you just might have too much products and not be able to move your units. So keep that in mind. Make sure that you're putting this in correctly so that you're aware of how many products you have on hand at any given time. Okay, let's keep scrolling down. So now we're at the shipping section. If you're selling physical goods, check this first box here. But if you're selling digital goods or services, you do not have to check this. Your shipping settings for each product calculate your shipping rates at checkout. So when you input the size and weight of each product, you'll get an accurate label price during fulfillment. But yeah, make sure that you're only accounting for the size and the weight of the actual product. Do not include the shipping or the mailer box in this section right here. So if you don't fill in those details today, you're not going to miss out on the sale. Do not worry. But if you do have those product details now, let's just add them in together. But if not, leave them blank. Anyways, moving on. So now we're going to go to the harmonized system tariff code section. Guys, the harmonized system tariff code is used by customs. So you're gonna have a specific code for whatever product it is that you're selling. So if you're not sure what that is, you can literally just Google it and find out. But you are gonna wanna get this right, because if you are not getting it right, your packages can be held up at the border, which means your customers are gonna get a late package, and no one likes a late package. So make sure that you're Googling this and inputting this correctly. Okie dokes, now we're gonna add in the variants. So if your product is coming in different colors or like different flavors or different sizes, you're gonna wanna use this variants option right here. So in the options value field, you're gonna enter the variant title, and then you'll include the categories, and these are gonna be separated by commas, just like this. Done. Guys, we are ripping through this. Let's move on to the search engine listing. So down here is the search engine listing preview. This is how your product page will show up on Google, like in the Google search results page. Now, hot tip, guys. In this section, you're gonna wanna use keywords that people would be typing in to find your product, so that you can get, you can show up on Google easier. Now at the top here, you're gonna see product availability. Click manage, and you'll see where you can start selling. I think for now, we'll just do an online store, but as we get bigger and as we grow, eventually you're gonna wanna make your products available everywhere. And just below that is your product organization section. So it not only keeps you organized, but it's also gonna be easier for your customers to find your stuff if you do have categories. So like your categories could be something like purses, backpacks, wallets, or maybe it could be seasonal, like maybe it's like, spring collection or something like that. So if you have a lot of products, make sure that you are doing this, but if you're starting small, no worries, definitely not necessary. Organizing your products into collections. Okay, so imagine if you're shopping for clothes online and everything from jackets to shoes were literally just sprinkled all over one page. That would be a nightmare. So that's why collections are so important. They're gonna organize your products so that customers can find what they're looking for. Okay, so are you ready to make your first collection? Let's do it. From the admin, click products, then the collections page. Click create collection. Enter a title, enter a description, and then under sales channels, choose from your active sales channels to make the collection available on different platforms. Choose whether products will be added to collection manually or automatically. If you do choose automatic, you'll then add the selection criteria under conditions, but then you can also create a collection manually. So with a manual collection, you can individually go in and check off each product that you want to be in this collection. But guys, I would recommend that you only do this if you have very few products, otherwise you're gonna drive yourself nuts. I remember when I was making a manual collection for the first time and the products were just not showing up, and I was like, what am I supposed to be doing here? I was so confused. But I learned that the trick is to click save, and then the products will show up, and now you can add whatever items you want to this collection. So let's add an image to represent the collection. Oh, and by the way, I should say that you're not limited to the number of collections that a product can go in. So let's say you have an item that's on sale, but then it's also in the women's collection. You can add the same product to 1 million different collections if you want. Okay, not 1 million, but you know what I mean. Okay, amazing. So we've just created a collection, but since it's not linked anywhere on our website, the customer won't be able to find it. So what we have to do is we have to put it in our navigation. So let's do that. Click online store and then go to navigation, hit main menu, and then add menu item. Give it a name and let's see how it looks. So to see how it looks, you're gonna click the eyeball, which will show us how our store would look to a customer. And this is how my collection page looks using the Dawn theme. And guys, I just think this theme is so sleek and yeah, it just looks amazing. So this is why I love this theme so much. All right, guys, so that's in the navigation. It's looking good, but I also want to add this collection to the homepage. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the admin, we're gonna click online store, and then we're gonna click customize. And now here you can see that you can add it as a section. So guys, we are done and done. Let's move on and start adding some extra pages to our store. All right, guys, so if you have information that you know is not gonna change often, like maybe like a contact page or an about us page, that kind of a thing, then you can give this content a permanent home using what's called a page. So let's do it. From your Shopify admin, you're gonna go to online store, then click pages, click add page, and then you will be taken to a new web page editor. So in the web page editor, enter a title. And this is what's going to be displayed in the tab of your browser. And the content section, that is what's actually going to show up on your actual page. So this is what it could potentially look like, but I want to add a contact page. Now, the good news is that there's actually a template for this, and it makes it a lot easier. So to add a contact page, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to the right-hand side, you're gonna find this template section, click page.contacts, and then hit save. And it's automatically gonna import a contact form. And guys, don't forget to add your page to your navigation, because if you don't add it to your navigation, it's almost as if that page does not exist, right? Like if people can't get to it, it's not in your navigation, it doesn't actually live anywhere, it's as if the page doesn't exist. So let's make sure that never happens to us, and let's organize our menus. From your Shopify admin, go to online store and then hit navigation. On the navigation page, you'll see footer and you're gonna see main menu. The footer is generally gonna have the drier info like contact, shipping policies, terms and conditions, all that stuff. And then the main menu is gonna have all the items that make for a positive brand experience, like shop, about us, blog. So today we're gonna edit our main menu. Click add menu item, add title. Now, if we click a link, a list of items is gonna appear. I'm gonna put a list on screen of what each of these options mean so that you can pause and just take a screenshot if you do need. And also guys, you can nest your menu items just like this. So this is what it would look like to a customer with the menu items nested, and it just looks a lot cleaner and a lot cuter. How to set up legal pages. Okay, so the sound of adding legal pages sounds intimidating, I know, but Shopify does make it really easy to set this part up. So I know you guys are maybe thinking, I could skip this, but it is important. It's important that you have this set up just in case of a customer dispute. You don't want to get caught up in that. So let's set this up together. From admin, you're gonna click settings and then you're gonna click policy. Let's start with the refund policy. So returns and exchanges and refunds are all a part of doing business. UPS has reported that 68% of shoppers are gonna check the return policy before they actually go ahead and make a purchase. And a return policy that benefits the customer is often the difference between a higher conversion rate and more repeat customers. But of course, you have to, make a decision that makes sense for you and your business. So consider that, but I also want you to consider these things to include in your policy. Consider which items are going to be eligible for return and exchange, and also be clear about how long the customer has to make that return or exchange. Is it going to be 30 days? Is it going to be 90 days? What condition can the products be returned in? Are you going to accept them lightly worn, or do they still need to have tags attached? How can customers initiate a return? Do you want them to email you? Do you want them to submit an online form? And also make sure that you're explaining which products are going to be final sale. All right, so let's do this. Click create from template, and this is going to give you a generalized outline that you can later customize. But do keep in mind that this isn't going to be legal advice by any means. It's just going to be a little bit of a template to get you started. Having your return policy linked in various places on your online store increases communication and increases trust, and those things are going to increase your conversion rate. So make sure that your return policy is going to be, in as many places as possible. Is it on your product page? Is it on your checkout page? Maybe it's in the footer, like navigation of your website. It can be in a lot of different places, and the more the merrier. All right, so let's move on to the privacy policy. So a privacy policy is a legal statement of how you will manage your customers' data. So let's say you're collecting emails and addresses, which you will be. It's kind of the law. You kind of have to do it. You have to include this document. And I don't know about you, but I have no clue about anything to do with legal. So I'm pretty happy that there's a template here. Make sure that you're utilizing this, and you can customize it if you need to. Terms of service. So the terms of service protects your content. It protects your company from abuse. So we're definitely going to want to make sure that we're adding that. But here you'll want to include your business email, guys. Make sure that it's not your personal email address. And usually a good place to link this is just in the footer. So you can do that. Now, I don't know about you, but I literally always check a shipping page before I place any order, because I want to make sure, I just want to know how much they're going to charge me for shipping. I want to know how fast it will get to me. So make sure that you are completing this. And here you can add in all of that information. So that's got you covered here. Now you also want to make sure that you're being clear about which regions you do and do not ship to in this section. And guys, also explain how customs and duties work. Usually it's a customer's responsibility to pay duties and taxes. So you're going to want to make sure that you're including that there just to be 100% clear. So quick and easy, guys. Legal stuff is done, out of the way. Now we're going to move on to checking your store's speed. So I remember when I was a kid, I used to take my dad's Motorola Razr. I know you know the one. I know you know that phone. And I used to browse on the internet with this phone, and it would take 60 seconds for a page to load, and it was fine then. But do you remember those days? Those days are gone. Gone, honey, because no one has the patience anymore. Apparently, and this is an actual stat, people are gonna click out if the store hasn't loaded in 2 seconds. 2 seconds. So making your store speed as fast as possible is gonna be crucial to keeping people on your site and making those sales. So how do you make your store as fast as possible? So there's 2 very easy ways to do this. Number 1, you want to make sure that your file sizes of any rich media, maybe you have videos or photos, you want to make sure that the file sizes are small. So think to yourself, do I need a 30-minute video on my homepage, or can I settle for 30 seconds? And the second way to speed up your store speed is by removing features that you don't need. So like some features, like an Instagram feed, can actually slow your store down. But if you decide that, let's say you absolutely need the feed, you need the Instagram feed, then try to put the bulk of your heavier features on the bottom of the page, and that should really help increase your store speed. So if you're curious and you just want to check how your store speed is ranking, you're going to want to start at the Shopify admin, click online store, then click themes, and then scroll down just a little bit to online store speed, and then click view report, and that should give you some insight. Setting up your store email. Imagine placing an order and then never receiving an email that confirms your purchase. I don't know about you, but that would literally give me peak levels of anxiety. So let's make sure that we're not causing undue stress to our customers, and let's start by setting up emails like purchase confirmations and shipping notifications. First, let's update the email address that the customers are actually going to see. Now, if you signed up for Shopify with your grade 9 Hotmail address, depending on how embarrassing it is, you might not want your customers to see that. I bet none of your emails were as embarrassing as mine back in the day. It was bad. But if you are brave enough, make sure that you are dropping it in the comment section. I'm curious to see just how embarrassing it can get for you guys. But yeah, I digress. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to double check that you've got the right email inputted. So you're going to go to your Shopify admin, you're going to hit settings, you're going to click general, and in the store details section, change your email address under sender email. And as simple as that, you're just going to click save. So now that we've avoided a potentially very awkward situation, let's set up our email notifications. Just go to Shopify, go to settings, and then let's go to notifications. So there are several types of Shopify email notifications that you can edit or preview. So I'd recommend you go through the important templates individually, because you just want to make sure that you're happy with these, because they're going to be going out, often. So you'll for sure 100% want to make sure that these are correct. So the ones are order confirmation, order edited, order canceled, order refunded, abandoned checkout, fulfillment request, shipping confirmation, shipping update, out for delivery, delivered, and email marketing. And that's it. Those are the ones that you're going to want to make sure that you're, checking over and making sure that they're good. So emails and notifications are out of the way. That part is done. Now the most important thing, and the part that we've all been waiting for, let's start getting paid. Accepting payments. So the sole reason that we're creating a Shopify store in the first place is to make sales. We want to gain the financial freedom to create a better life for ourselves, right? And create the lifestyle that we want. So this part is going to be fun. So let's do this. From the Shopify admin, go into settings, then payment providers. And the first option that we have here is Shopify payments. So guys, Shopify payments is the simplest route. It's going to be the easiest route. But let's say for whatever reason you want to accept payments with like PayPal or a third-party provider, you do have the option to do that as well. So you're going to click complete account setup, and from here you'll just input your personal and your banking info, and then when you're done, click complete account setup. To make sure that you did this step right, ensure that your banking details got accepted. You can view your payouts here once you do start getting those sales. Now, if we click over here into manage, you can choose to accept certain types of payments. You want to make sure that you are familiar with the rates and the fees for each type of payment that you do accept. So going down further, you can choose to sell in multiple currencies. So my target audience is in Canada primarily and the US secondarily. And then this payout descriptor is what your payments will be labeled with on your statement. So just put your business name to make things easier for yourself. All right, cool. So I'm happy with those settings. Now next is how your customer is going to see their own bank statement. So make sure that you're also putting your business name right over here. So test mode. Test mode is going to allow you to do a test checkout on Shopify to simulate a successful and a failed transaction. So enable this because you can do this later and check it out and make sure that everything's working. Click save, and that is it. You guys are now ready to accept payments. Accelerated checkouts. So accelerated or express checkouts are going to save customer payment and shipping information so that if you have a returning customer, they can check out a lot quicker. Not gonna lie, these buttons are definitely good to have because they're gonna encourage and increase impulse buys and just make it a more pleasant experience for the shopper overall. I personally feel like the real life equivalent to accelerated checkouts is like, okay, you know the little impulse buy section at Sephora right before you're about to pay? Those always get me. I feel like this is like the digital version of that. But in order to do that, you're gonna wanna make sure that you're including a dynamic checkout button on your product page so that customers can skip the cart, they just go directly to checkout, and they have all their information pre-filled. To show dynamic checkout buttons on product pages, you're first gonna wanna go to your Shopify admin. Then you're gonna go to online store, and then you're gonna hit themes. So you're gonna click the customize button for the theme, and then from the top bar just here, you're gonna click that drop down menu and you're gonna click product pages. Click the sections tab, then click into the product tabs, and then enable the show dynamic checkout button setting. And you're gonna click save, and then this is what it should look like. If ever I log onto a store and the prices are in like yen or like the British pound or something, I'm just like, nope, and I just exit right out immediately. And I'm sure you guys do the same thing too. So if you want to make sure that your customers are staying on your store and they're staying on for longer, you're going to want to ensure that you've got your prices showing up in multiple currencies and in your customers' local currencies. So here's how to do it. From your Shopify admin, you're going to go to settings, then you're going to hit payments, and in the Shopify payments section, you're going to click manage. In the currency section, you're going to enable the currency that you want to support. You're going to click save, and then also make sure that you are enabling rounding rules just so that your converted prices are more consistent and more even. On top of just having this option enabled, you're going to need to use a currency selector so that when customers actually go on your website, they have like that little button that they can just like switch currencies really easily. Now, most themes don't actually come with a currency selector, but what you can do is you can download a free app, one like a multi-currency converter. I think that's literally what it's called. Yeah, multi-currency converter. That's my favorite one, and check that out, and it's free. How to set up your taxes. Sales taxes. Guys, we have to do it. It's a little boring, but let's just get it out of the way so that we can do the fun stuff later. So this is actually really important because if you're selling on Shopify, you are the one that's responsible for remitting and collecting all the taxes on every sale that you make. So it's kind of important. And although tax laws, can feel complex and, they're often changing, Shopify actually makes it super easy because it handles the most common sales tax calculations. So you don't have to think too much. The calculations and reports that Shopify provides just make things a lot more easy and more organized when it comes to filing and paying for your taxes. So to set everything up, we're gonna start at the admin and then we're gonna hit settings. Then you'll hit taxes. Okay, so look at my screen here. We can collect provincial or state and federal taxes. And then we have a lot of control. I can add it, I can replace, I can compound my taxes. And then down here in tax override, you can charge different taxes to make exceptions. So like I said, lots of control. Now, if I were you, I'd just Google what taxes you have to collect for your country and your state and then just plug it in. Okay, let's move out of tax regions and let's move on to tax calculations. Okay, so here you have the option of showing your product prices with the tax included. You can choose to show that or not. And then also you can choose how taxes are applied on top of your shipping rate. Okay, so next we want to let Shopify know where our orders are being fulfilled and where they are being shipped from. So to do this, you're going to hit settings, then locations. This is important for taxes because depending on where our shipments are coming from, depending on, where those are being fulfilled, it's going to affect the taxes. So let's customize this. So just hit add location and input either your home address, your business address, your warehouse address, wherever you are shipping from. Okay, guys, that actually wasn't so bad. We are done taxes. Yay. Okay, let's move on to something a little bit more fun now. So let's look at shipping. Getting your shipping set up. Okay, so the first time that I ever set up shipping for a store ever, I had peak anxiety levels. I was like, which carrier do I choose? Should I pay for shipping? Should the customer pay for shipping? I just felt like there were so many variables when it comes to shipping, and I didn't know what to do. So if I felt that way, you guys are probably also feeling that way. So right now, I'm gonna break it down for you guys so that it's just gonna be a breeze and that you have no anxieties whatsoever when it comes to shipping. Choosing the right shipping carriers. Guys, I literally don't know what I would do without Shopify shipping. So if you're not familiar with what Shopify shipping is, basically it's a built-in shipping center that does the hard work for you. That's the best way that I can describe it. It does the hard work for you because it calculates your shipping rates. You can print your shipping labels directly from there. You can track your shipments. Literally anything you need. It's just such a lifesaver. And from here, you can choose which shipping company you want to go with. And the best part is that when you ship with Shopify, you get amazing reduced rates. You can literally get up to 86% off your shipping rates. That's best case scenario, but you can get huge discounts. And yeah, you can ship with all your favorites. You can ship with USPS, UPS, DHL Express, Canada Post, Sendle, like lots of options there, no shortage there. Okay, so once you decide which shipping carrier you're gonna go with, now we gotta think who's gonna pay for the shipping. So let's look at that right now. How to charge your customers for shipping. Okay, I don't know if it's just me, but there's definitely been times where I've had like $100 worth of items in my cart, and then I see that $8 shipping, and I'm like, nah. That's why it's so important to decide whether you're gonna pay for shipping, your customer's gonna pay for shipping, or maybe it's like a somewhere in between scenario, you know? Maybe you pay a little bit and the customer pays a little bit. So right now we're gonna look at all the options that you have as a merchant so that you can make a decision as to who is paying for that shipping. Is it you? Is it your customer? Is it kind of in between? So let's take a look. So our first option is offering free shipping. Offering free shipping usually means that more people will buy from you, so that's always good. Now, if you do want to go this route, there are a few ways that you can do this. So one way is to add the cost of your shipping into the price of your products. Sneaky, sneaky. So instead of showing your customers the shipping price at checkout, you've basically just increased your prices of each product to accommodate for the shipping. Does that make sense? So if you want to do this, you're going to find out the average cost to ship your product, and then you're going to add up your prices by that amount. So that's one way. Another way is to offer free shipping once orders hit a certain dollar amount. So say, for example, a customer spends $100, then you can give them free shipping there. So let's actually set this up. So from your Shopify admin, you're going to want to go to Settings, Shipping and Delivery. Next to the shipping profile, where you want to add a free shipping rate, click Manage Rates. Next to the zone where you want to add a free shipping rate, click Add Rate. And then you're going to enter the name of that rate. Make sure that the value of this price field is set to 0. And then select whether to base the condition on order weight or order value. And then you enter the minimum and maximum value for the condition. And then you're done. So you're going to click Done and then click Save. Create flat shipping rates. Another way to charge for shipping is to offer a flat rate for every package. So how do you know what your flat rate should be? So you're going to have to account for what they've ordered. So like, you could set flat rates based on how much a package weighs and how much they've paid for their order. So for example, you could charge $8 for a package that's under 1 pound, and then you could charge $12 for a package that's over a pound. So this would make a lot of sense. Let's say, for example, you have varying products, like let's say you're a furniture company and you have a picture frame on the one end and that's super light. So that would be, under a pound, and that would cost what did I say? I think I said $8 or something. That would cost $8. And let's say you sell couches and that's over a pound, and that would cost them $12. That sounds like pretty cheap shipping for a whole couch, but you get the point, okay? So if your product offering is very diverse, you're gonna wanna go with this method. You're also gonna wanna account for how fast the shipping service is. So regular shipping could cost $5, and then expedited shipping could cost $15. Once you have your flat rates, they would appear as options in your customer's checkout. So here's how to do it. From the admin, I would click Settings. Then I would go to Manage Rates. You want to make sure the address of where you're shipping from is correct. Then under Shipping, hit Add Rate. You're going to give it a name, give it a price based on the research that you've done. And if you have any additional conditions, you can click here to specify. So guys, that is the manual way of doing it, but honestly, just use Shopify shipping. It's going to calculate it for you. Tick off all the carrier options that you want to give your customers, and down here, you can add a handling fee as well. But keep in mind, handling fees do have a track record of increasing cart abandonments. Okay, cool. So whichever method you decide to go with, you're going to need to input the weight and size of your products and your shipping boxes. That way you'll know for sure that your shipping costs are accurate. So let me show you how to do this. To add a product weight in bulk, you're going to start at the admin. Go to Products and check off all your products. Hit Edit Products. From there, you're going to add a field and select weight. Include only the weight of your product, not the shipping box. Now, instead of going into each individual product and setting this, you can ensure all the weights are correct all in one go. The other thing you're gonna have to do to ensure that you're charging correctly on shipping is setting a default packaging. The default packaging is the size and the weight of your shipping box without the actual product in it. So, from your Shopify admin, you're gonna go to Settings, Shipping and Delivery. In the Save Packages section, click Edit, and that's gonna be beside the package with the default label. Enter a title, the dimensions, and the weight of your default shipment package, and then click Save. If you're sending your items out in the same box each time, filling in these details is really gonna ensure that your shipping label is gonna be correct every time. Guys, put a little tick mark beside the shipping section because that is done. We are done shipping. Now, the one thing that I will say though is that you're probably gonna wanna test and play a little bit with different shipping options because you might find that at one point, flat rate shipping works best for your business and you're getting all these sales because of this flat rate shipping or this free shipping. And then maybe during the holiday seasons, you'll see that free express shipping over a certain dollar amount works better. Right? So you're gonna have to stay on top of it. You're gonna have to test, you're gonna have to play. And the key tip is just to keep iterating and see, what helps conversions. So that would be my little tip. Shipping labels 101. Okay guys, once the customer has paid for their item and their shipping, you'll need to buy a shipping label. Now, for me, this part always confused me because I was like, wait, why do I need to buy the label? Why do I need to buy your label? But basically what happens is the customer's already paid for it in their order. So you're essentially just gonna take that money that they have, paid you in their order and you're gonna put it towards the shipping label. So you are gonna buy it. Now, if you're not sure how to buy a shipping label, what you're gonna do is you're gonna start from the Shopify admin as usual, and then you're gonna navigate to orders. Okay, so we're in orders and we're gonna hit the one you need. So let's do that and then click create shipping label. Okay. So we're gonna choose a package from the profiles that you've just created and then the total weight including the package. Then click buy label and then you're gonna get a PDF. So once you got that PDF, it's cute, it's pretty, we're gonna put it on our package. So you can use a regular printer that connects to your computer and tape it on, or you can get really fancy with it and you can buy a label printer, up to you, whatever's clever. But if you don't have any orders yet and you do wanna print a test label just to see how it works, you can do that. You can print a test label and you're not gonna be charged for that test label. So yeah. Now we are talking. We've got our labels printed. We got our shipping sorted out. We're making good headway. Now, by the way, something I do want to mention is that if you're shipping internationally, you're going to need to complete a customs declaration form. What is that, you ask? Customs declaration form is the information about what's inside that package, that your package isn't being held up at customs. So this is super important. But yeah, I'm not going to go into too much detail about this in this video. But if you do want to find out more on how you can print a customs form, I will leave that for you guys in the description box. It's super easy. Shopify makes it a breeze. So I will leave that information for you guys in the description box. All right, moving on to packages. So guys, confirm or deny, there is nothing like a good unboxing experience. A good shiny chrome mailer or a nice recyclable cardboard box, you gotta love it. So when you're shipping with Shopify, you're gonna have some shipping boxes, you're gonna have some shipping types that you can go with. You can go with a regular box. We all know what that is. You can go with a soft pack, which is basically a padded envelope, one of those bubble mailers, you know what I mean? And then of course we can just go with a regular envelope. Now, hot tip. If you're really just trying to do the bare minimum when it comes to shipping your package, you can literally just hit up your carrier to get free packing materials. So you can go to USPS, UPS, DHL Express, and you can just ask them, be like, hey, can you give me some free boxes and envelopes? And they'll give it to you. Hot tip right there. All right, moving on to processing time. So I always reference Kid Super because I just love this brand. And I remember seeing on his shipping page, the disclaimer, basically it says something along the lines of shipping estimate is the time it takes from when we actually send the package till when it gets to you. So that's usually gonna be 1 to 2 weeks. And if you think it's been too long, just message us, let us know. And I was wow, so vague, lol. But no, it raises a good point. Shipping time is one thing, but it's also gonna take time for you to fulfill your packages. You're gonna get that order, you're gonna have to, fill those boxes, even make the product, right? Sometimes. So make sure that you're telling your customer what your processing time is on your shipping FAQ page. All right, what happens when you receive an order? Okay, so the day will come when you launch your store and you get that first order. So let me make sure that you're prepared so that you know exactly what you're doing. So first things first, when you get an order, you're gonna get notified in Shopify and you're gonna get notified by email. So just to double check that you have your notifications set up and that everything's good on that front, let's open up your Shopify app. Okay, so let's tap Store and then tap Settings. Under App Settings, tap Notifications. Under Orders, tap the Push Notification Toggle button to enable the option. Okay, cool. So once that notification comes in, the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna fulfill your order. If you don't know what fulfilling an order means, no problem, I got you. It basically just means that you're taking the items that are gonna go into the order and packing it up. You're gonna add any cards or marketing material or whatever it is, and you're gonna put it in the shipping box. So that's what fulfilling an order means. So there's different ways that you can fulfill an order. You can either fulfill your orders at home, you can pay a company to do it for you, or you can do a combination of both of those things. But I feel like chances are, if you're watching this video, you're probably just starting out. You're probably gonna be doing your own orders. So my biggest piece of advice would be to organize this process. It would be super annoying if you ship out the wrong product to the wrong customer. So make sure that you're organizing it from the jump and that you're organizing it in a way that's easy to see what you're grabbing without too much investigation, so that you can make your processes a lot smoother. Okay, so once your order is picked and packed, the next step is you're gonna go onto your Shopify shipping suite, buy the shipping label, adhere it to the box, and drop it off at your nearest mailbox. So if you got a lot of orders and you're not trying to ship out each individual box, you can eventually graduate to the type of service that comes to you and picks up your orders from your house. So that's just a hot little tip right there. Setting up your online customer service strategy. So I DM'd a local Toronto maker about a pair of pants that I wanted to buy, and I don't know, I just had like a question or something, and I never heard back. So the moral of the story is, I never ended up buying that pair of pants. The reason I'm telling the story is because it kind of just boils down to the fact that if your customer service is lacking, you're probably gonna miss out on sales. But if you have amazing customer service and you're answering people's questions and then you're giving the best possible service, ever, then you're gonna be in a good place because you're gonna retain that customer and then they're gonna tell their friends and you're gonna just gain more repeat customers that way. So there are definitely ways that you can set up your store to make it really good customer service for the people buying from you, but also easy for you as a merchant. So the first tip that I have for you is to provide clear return and shipping policies. So not only is this gonna improve your conversion rate, more people are gonna buy from you, but it's also gonna save you time in answering people's questions about your policy. So make sure that you're definitely getting that set up. And then also you wanna make sure that you're giving customers a way to contact you. So this could be email, this could be phone number, this could be your socials, whatever is, comfortable and natural for you. Just make sure that you have that somewhere on your contact page or somewhere on your online store. Okay, so this next tip right here, this is a huge time saver. You're gonna wanna make sure that you're adding a page with frequently asked questions. I've seen some pretty massive businesses not have this page, and I'm always just wondering, I'm always like, are they not answering the same questions over and over every day of their lives? It's crazy. Yeah, but just make sure that you're having a page somewhere with FAQs, with questions that come up over and over again so that you can just direct your customers there. Shopify also has free apps for this to get this set up, so this can get set up really quickly and easily. Outside of just communications, it's actually pretty good practice and quite a good customer service play to reward your loyal customers. So you could do discounts, you could do parties, you could do sneak peeks, you could do exclusive perks, anything that makes a customer feel special. And I bet you guys didn't know about this. So this is an app called Caro, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but basically it lets you look at who your customers are and see if they are also influencers. So if you start rewarding your loyal customers who are also influencers, I don't know, that might just end up in some shout outs, just saying. So this is a really, really good app. Creating discount codes. Okay, can we all just confirm that discount codes are literally the devil and they make us buy way too much? Yes, I can confirm. But the good news is that if you're a business owner, this is actually gonna work in your favor. Discount codes help get customers who are, maybe considering purchasing from you to actually go for it. And it's a really good way to attract new customers as well. But how do we create a discount code? It's really easy, so let's set this up together. So we're gonna create a unique discount code. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start at the Shopify admin, head over to discounts, create discount, hit discount code. Let's give it a name. Don't do anything too wild because customers will be able to see this. They're going to be using this at checkout. And then you can also offer your customers either a dollar amount, you can give them a percentage off, a shipping discount, and then you also have the option to do like a buy X, get Y type of a discount. So lots of options there, just depending on what you want to do. Okay, so that's how we create a discount code where customers are going to have to plug that in while they're checking out. But if we want to make an automatic discount that customers don't have to do anything at checkout, it just automatically happens at checkout, then this is how you do it. So from your Shopify admin, you're going to go to discounts, click create discount, and then click automatic discount. In the automatic discount section, enter a name for the automatic discount. In the type section, select percentage or select fixed amount. Under discount value, enter a monetary or a percentage value for the discount. In the applies to section, select what this discount will apply to, whether it's entire orders, whether it's specific collections, or it's specific products. Set the active dates and then click Save Discount. Shopify will automatically apply the discount in the customer's carts at checkout based on the parameters that you have set. Moving right along to Shopify apps. So Shopify apps are going to give your store more functionality and it's going to give you some added features. So I want to give you a list of some of my favorite apps to help get you started. Lifetimely is a really good app if you're wanting to find out what your customer's lifetime value is. Or in other words, how long a customer will purchase with you and how many times before they never purchase from you again, or in other words, churn out. Hopefully that's making sense. But this app is really amazing because this data can help you make decisions. So for example, if you send a customer an email to remind them how great you are right before they churn out, this can be super, super helpful. Have you guys ever heard of Klaviyo before? So you're gonna be using Klaviyo for collecting emails, sending out e-blasts, and you know those pop-up windows that come up on any website that's just like get 10% off? Klaviyo also has that capability, so it's really good for collecting emails as well. And honestly, guys, I just can't say enough good things about this app. It's relatively inexpensive, the features go really deep, you have really good analytics, and I think for any e-commerce business, this is always just a non-negotiable for me. So make sure that you're checking out Klaviyo. Who's familiar with SEO? If you're not, I think the easiest way for me to put it is how you rank on Google without paying for ads. So SEO is how you set up your store to be more likely to be on that #1 page. And there's a lot of factors that contribute to this, but a quick and easy way to start focusing on SEO is to find relevant keywords that make sense for your product and your brand. I personally think about the things that people would be typing into Google if they wanted to find my store. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take those keywords and then put them on your product pages, your homepage, everywhere that makes sense. You can also validate whether your keywords are actually good ones by using Google Keyword Planner. So Google Keyword Planner is a free tool and it's really easy to use, so I will link that for you guys in the description box. Another quick and easy thing that you can do to make sure that your SEO is strong, let's go onto our product page and let's scroll down right over here. And here you can see what your page would look like to someone that would just be stumbling upon Google and finding your page. So make sure that you're updating your headline and that you're updating your description right over here so that it actually entices people to click through. So I have some good news. We're done. You're done. You can launch your Shopify store now. Congratulations. Yay. You are now ready to sell confidently and efficiently with Shopify. Now, you're probably wondering, what should I do on the day of launch? Like, what should I be doing? Well, you should be looking into influencers, email marketing, word of mouth, and creating a bit of buzz around this launch. Now, if you're not sure how to do that, make sure that you are subscribed to this channel because we literally have everything that you could ever possibly need in terms of marketing and being a successful online entrepreneur. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell if you want to see me and the other hosts on this channel walk you through all the things that you need to know in order to start, run, and grow an online business. This channel right here is dedicated to small business owners with big plans. So thank you guys for tuning in for this series. Congratulations. My name is Michelle Bally, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.